So we're already into the second day into this journey, and man, oh man, I tell you guys, it's already been kind of interesting for me because I don't want to get really too much into it, but all I'm gonna say is the struggles I went through to even just try to upload the first video. Uh, just to give you guys a kind of context for you guys at least watching this. It's been about a couple of days or so that I've uploaded the first video. At least in my case right now, I recorded that video last week. It's been recorded since last week, roughly, probably even more. So I spent the next several days trying to figure out what was the issues I was having. Again, I don't want to get too much into it, but just problems with rendering, files being too big, sometimes my videos not even wanting to import onto my software. If I learned already something from my first video, it was that when I said that it's gonna be a journey, I did mean that, not just photo wise, not just editing wise, but just, I guess, the whole process of making these videos, publishing them, editing them. It's already, I mean, like I said, we're just in the second day. We're just on the second day, and it's already been pretty interesting. But hey, I can't complain. If that's what the journey already consists of, then so be it. Let's see what happens. Now that I kind of got that out of the way. As far as day 2 goes, I didn't take any photos today, which that kind of bums me out because I'm already going up against what I said last video of one of my personal goals being to at least take photos every day. So I'm a little bit bummed out that I'm already going against that, but it's kind of like what I said. I have many photos that I at least gotta find one that's interesting enough to edit on a video. So I'll choose when I get home. I'll choose what photo I'll be editing, publishing. So that's one thing. As far as I look back onto the first video I did, and I actually go through it, and the photo that I edited of that squirrel, I guess the one question for me that always kept coming up to mind was that really it? You know, are my videos just gonna be consistent of me just moving some colors here and there, making objects pop more than usual, and that's it? I really had that thought for a sec, for a couple, probably even a couple of days, me thinking, was that really it? Again, I still blame myself for not knowing all the Lightroom tools in advance. That I take full responsibility on that, because as I was recording it, my thought was, okay, you know, it's gonna come to me, because I saw some videos weeks prior to how to edit photos. I said to myself, as far as I'm recording it, or as long as I'm recording it, it shouldn't be no. I'll go with the flow. But I think as you guys saw, that didn't quite happen. So I was really surprised, and I was really bummed out on how the final photo came out. It's not that I hate it. I still think it's a pretty good photo, at least in my case, in my opinion. But to make that as part of the video, as part of the process of what I do behind the scenes to edit photos, to kind of have that occur, hopefully not just in this video, but in every other video that I make, I just think to myself, is it really entertaining for anyone? If it is, then I'm quite surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised if they find it boring. So that's also another reason why it took time, or it's taken time for me to post day 2, because I really wanted to kind of look at tutorials, look at how you can make your photos more interesting. Let's put it like that. Make it more interesting, because I also want to make it interesting for the viewers, you guys that are watching this. I want to make this a little bit more interesting, so then that way here we don't have a part 2 of what happened last video, because like I said, I was, as a whole, as overall the video, I'm pretty happy on how it came out. I mean, I should be happy considering the fact on the struggles that I went through just to upload the damn thing. But as a whole, I like it. But like I said, there are definitely things that I could have done better. And like I've also stated, it's if it's part of the journey, then I'm here for it, man, because I do want to be making videos, more entertaining, more interesting videos than last video. So that's really what I've got to say right now. Again, I don't know what photo I'm gonna be editing, or maybe I might be editing multiple photos. I'm not sure, to make it more interesting. I gotta see. I gotta sit down and look through all the photos that I've taken thus far and seeing which ones are interesting enough to record on, and then which ones are interesting to upload them onto Instagram. So with that out of the way, I got nothing much else to say. So we'll see what photo I decided on editing. I'm quite actually surprised that in roughly 1,000 photos that I have on my memory cards, it was time consuming on trying to find one single photo that I could edit for this video. But nonetheless, I think I found one. So let's just, okay, so this was taken roughly about a couple months ago. I'm not even entirely sure, but this was when I went on my trip to Mexico. Just a normal stray cat here, just nothing too unique about this. So like last time, we're gonna start with this one. Now, what I did do beforehand, before selecting this, thank God the masking actually does work with this subject, or with this photo. So I don't want to get into that, at least right now. But that's at least that I'm happy. And also, I guess from last video, that I was trying to find out the button. That's what I was trying to find out. So as you guys can see, this is before, after this, the raw photo, and this is after all the edits or the changes that I make. So that's, I guess that was too hard for me to find out last video, but I mean, then again, I also searched it up just 5 minutes before starting this. So with this, I also found out, if we click here as shot, here, this little kind of droplet icon, if we were to select, oh shit, it's not working. What did I have to do? That's weird, because it would normally pop up as white here. What was it that was different? Alright, anyways, we're just not gonna do it that. No, I guess for the tone here, for much blue, I wouldn't choose that, because it's the original photo. You can kind of see a little bit of the background. I don't want that anymore. You can kind of see a little bit of the background being a little bit orange. So maybe roughly around there. Not too much. I don't want to oversaturate the colors as far as tint goes. We'll leave that for right now. I don't think there needs to be changes right now. It was just a little slight change in the temperature, but I think that should be good. Exposure, this is, now with this photo, one half of the cat's face or more like half of the cat's body is lit, and then the other one is kind of too dark. So I wouldn't want to overexpose it. See, I guess the challenging part here, or what I could do is have this guy as a mask, because I think that's an option, right? Yeah, I think that is. Okay, so because I do want at least the cat's face, or the black spots that it has, to be brightly lit, because I don't see, that's normal, and I don't want it to be like that. So just roughly a little bit lit up, not too much. As contrast. Okay, so it can slightly. Okay, so this is gonna help me out. So then that way here, this portion can be a little bit more exposed. I think also I forgot to mention another tip I saw while looking on tutorials is make sure you have your histogram, which is this up at the top. Make sure you don't have it touching other sides or each side. In my case, I think if I can correctly remember, I think this is your whites or my whites, which is kind of explains why it's off the chart, because oh yeah, and I think, ooh, that's not what I want. See how the red portion here, that's where it's overexposed. So just a nice little trick that I found, but we're gonna come back to at least this guy. Hopefully once I go into masking, because if I find out the masking, you know what, let me just try this out beforehand. Okay. Alright, so I think we should be good with that. But anyways, as far as right now goes, the highlights, how much do I want? So we're just not gonna, I don't think there should be no changes. Maybe just a little bit dark. Oh, no. You know, more looking at this, if I were to, okay. So maybe that's why. Maybe I was, because this would focus on the whole entire photo. That's not what I would want. I want to more focus on the shadows, or maybe even the white or the blacks I'm in. Okay. Okay. So then what if I were to, I guess right now the whole goal is to try to make this section of the cat, more of his face, a little bit more exposed, because it's way too underexposed. So that's what we want to do. Oh, okay. I got it. Okay. There we go. So now we got, all right, roughly around, what does this change? Just a little bit. There you go. Not too much difference. Okay, I think as far as the cat's face, I think we should be good. So with the whites, I don't think I want to change too much of the whites, even though I don't see much difference, but just lower it down maybe a little bit. So okay, at least the good thing is I got the cat a little bit under control now, because if we see how it was, yeah, it's already looking different, so that's good. Texture, I
I don't know. So this is kind of like where, I guess, from last video, you can make things pop more than usual. But I think as far as right now goes, I mean, already like had some pretty good detail. What I do see is that this portion of the fence here was, or did get a little bit in focus. That was not the plan. I'm gonna see if I can try to do something with that. But as far as right now, clarity, no, I wouldn't want that. I'd, just very slightly. I don't want a lot. Very slightly. Okay. Now with from last video and from the videos I was seeing, yeah, like saturation, you're gonna change a lot, but that's not what we want. What I supposedly saw, that vibrance, I guess vibrance does make it a little bit better than saturation because, yeah, I think so. So we're just gonna, okay. So I think as far as it stands right now with this photo, I think it's looking pretty good, side by side. I first off, my main goal with this photo when I saw this is that I wanted to get, like I said, the shadows or the blacks more exposed. Now that I've kind of got that under control, now let's go to let's I want to wait for masking just a little bit. This tone curve, I saw a little bit of it from tutorial. I mean, I guess you can do some changes. I mean, here you can what was it? You can deal with the highlights, the lights, darks, and the shadows, kind of like what I was working on. But even if I remember, I think color grading here would be the same thing. So it really wouldn't make any difference. So as far as maybe tone curve, maybe for next video, I'm not sure. But as far as for this video, I think I'm just gonna leave that be again. The color mixer, maybe with this green that I see here, I don't want it to pop. Ooh, yikes. Just a little bit, just slightly. With this yellow, that would mostly fall on the background mostly. Yeah, I don't too want it to be too yellow because maybe roughly, maybe there. You know, we don't need to change that. What does the red affect? Well, since there's already no red to begin with, or what about it? Okay, so it doesn't affect anything. I know the eyes maybe was gonna affect. Yeah, just slightly, just barely something in the eyes, but no need for that. Purple, not so much. Magenta, no, not really. Okay, that color mixer was nothing. Lens correction, I already did that, so that's good. As far as detail goes, zoom in. Alright, well, we'll just do that. Amount of sharpening. Do I see a difference? I guess with more detail, maybe. But not really. I mean, I already really don't see a difference with it, so I'm just gonna keep it the way how it was. Radius. I don't see really anything. Maybe I don't see anything as well, you know. Who knows, maybe it's just my eyesight, but I don't see anything. No lens, well, what was this? I guess cropping wise. Who knows? Maybe as far as right now, maybe cropping. I'm not gonna crop anything from the photo. Even though I would want to crop this out, but if I do, it's not gonna be looking good, and it's just we'll deal with it. It doesn't matter really. I'm gonna still try to find a way to try and remove this portion. But again, we'll see. But if we were just a I guess if it wasn't perfect, if it wasn't perfectly on level, I guess it would work. But in my case, I make sure all my photos are at level with the little camera level that they have on the camera. So oh no, I don't want. No, I wouldn't want this. No, I'm good with that. All right, so I think we went through basically everything. It's well, in my case, I mostly just wanted to onto the basic section because that's where, at least for me at the moment right now, that's where I make all my changes. So with that out of the way, thank God honestly that the masking does work here, because it would have been one very short and pretty boring video if the masking didn't work. But as far as right now, all right, so what is my plan with this? Okay. Yeah, I do not want to make him pop out a lot. Okay, there we go. So, contrast. What will contrast change to him? I guess the brightness around him, but if I do it too, if I go any other way, or it's at the opposite ends, it's gonna look so obvious. It's gonna be to the point that he's Photoshop. If I were to delete this one, if I were to delete it, because I'm not trying to make at least the cat or the subject kind of stand out, because if I do, that's gonna look too fake. I kind of want to keep it between natural and not natural, if that kind of makes sense. But, ooh, let's see. Shadows, I mean, like I said, I already did the shadows, so that's pretty good. It's just a slight, like, just slightly maybe. With the whites, again, just what I guess the predicament I just put myself into is with at least the photo, with this photo, I really kind of can't do much with this cat because it's gonna look too photoshopped. I gotta find a way to make sure that doesn't happen. So I'm not gonna go too crazy with these changes. No, well, that's fine. We don't want that. So temperature wise, I mean, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want it to increase. Just the way how I have it already is fine. So what's the other options that they have down here? So I see So basically you can change almost every portion. So with this masking, all of these options, the basic tone curve, color mixture, all of these, in a way, if you were to isolate a subject or really anything from a picture, you'd get those options, which come to figure if you're trying to isolate them. But that's pretty cool. Now, so that's how it was originally, before all these changes. Again, it's very, very minor. It's very minor. But I think, at least for right now, I think there shouldn't be no issues now. Let's create a new mask and let's select the sky now. Now with this one, okay. But you see that, okay, this is the problem I'm talking about. Okay, I too gotta be very careful with this. Okay, I too gotta be very careful with this because I do not want to make this look photoshopped in any way. The problem I'm seeing is that this portion of the sky is not getting it right between his ears. It's not being changed, so again, I gotta be really subtle with these changes. And I'm really subtle. Okay, I just took a time to kind of think about how I'm gonna do this. Oh, yikes, okay. We're gonna, I want to decrease, I don't want the sky to be overexposed. That's not one thing I would want. So we're just gonna decrease the whites ever so slightly, while at the same time not making it look photoshopped or really, what would you call it? Or just basically Photoshop. I can't think of anything else. I know exactly, because I've just seen this. Okay. Can I please choose another more saturated? Okay, well, I don't know what you would mean by that. Okay, well, let's try that then. Okay, you know what? I guess that didn't work, so. Or that didn't really help, so we're gonna see. I don't know what I did, so I'm just gonna undo it. Okay. So as I'm sitting here, I'm really trying to think about how I'm gonna do this with this guy. Well, what difference do we have so far right now in this? Let's see. Okay, it's not bad now. What I do want to kind of fix is a portion that I see here, but I gotta get it away, so let's just take that out. Okay, so I just tried doing some things, some changes, but I don't think it's gonna work out. I don't think it's gonna work out because I'm really trying to fix some, at least for me, that I can see. It's these weird effects. I know it's part of the mocha from like the blurry background that the picture was taken from, because if we were to check, since it's not exposed here or it's underexposed, it's not that noticeable. But once you expose it, it just becomes so weird. It really just becomes so weird for me. I don't know. It might just be me. Okay, so let's see what other changes I can do with this masking. Let's just to test. What other options are there? What would select background be? Okay. Okay. Well, let's just test it. I'm not entirely sure. Let's just test it. I think I know how I'm gonna fix my problem. I think I know exactly. I think. I'm not sure. So I don't want it to just kind of blend in into the background. Because I think the original photo was if we were to Command Z. That's how it looks. It looks a little bit too oversaturated in my opinion. I don't want it to be like that. So if we were to just... There we go, probably. Okay, there we go. It may look a little bit, lifeless with no color, but I mean, just again, we were to look back, in my opinion at least, I think that's a little bit too over exaggerated. So the way how I had it, roughly there, you see how it kind of blends in with the colors in the background from the other trees behind. I think that would be a little bit more suitable. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. All right. We'll keep it like that. Okay. So at least we got a portion of it left, but okay, at least we got a portion of it left, so that's relatively good. I'm at least happy about that. Now, okay, we got the subject, which is the cat. And we got the background, and then we got we got the sky, and then we got the background. As far as making new changes, I can't really think of much else to do with this photo. I'm really happy that the masking worked this time around, because I did not want it, like I said, I did not want it to be another part 2 from last video. So I'm at least happy we got something new. But I'm trying to think. I'm really trying to be a little bit more creative here, which in my case it's going to be a little bit difficult, but it's just for me this sky is not really it. Because I'm trying to do two things right now. I'm trying to look at the photo in the background right here, but while at the same time looking at the histogram, because if I'm trying to go towards not having each end past I guess the lines or the sides, if I were to reset it, have no changes done to the sky, we would have a little bit of the whites kind of creeping alongside of the edge, which if I were to take this off, you can kind of see that it's a little bit overexposed. However, if I were to have it like this, I don't know, it looks too... It really just might be me overcomplicating the thing, but it just looks to me a little bit too fake in my opinion. But I say, I'd rather it be a little bit underexposed and look than for it to look overexposed and just being a little bit still being a little bit weird. Maybe if I were to just slightly. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Also, another factor I was looking into is because I don't know, for me, maybe it's just the masking. Even though if I see that the masking they got here with the sky is relatively good, it's just this portion right here where the ears meet in the middle. It just seems a little bit too off. Because, for example, if I try to underexpose the anything, or if I try to underexpose it, I don't know. This portion for me just looks a little bit too weird. But just the way how I had it recently, just maybe just a little bit. Who knows, maybe that's the way. That way here it's not too overexposed, but at the same time it's kind of to my liking that I wouldn't think that it's too fake. So maybe, or I just found out about it. I just was looking at this, the amount. Okay, well this is, again, this would kind of fall under exposure. But I'm guessing any changes done here to whatever you're masking with this amount slider, you can increase, decrease the amount that will show, which that's actually pretty kind of cool. I didn't realize about that. Well, good to know. So, okay, as far as the cat goes, I think I did pretty much everything I at least wanted. As far as making it the black portion a little bit more exposed, I did that. I think I did a pretty good job here. I can't really think of anything else to do with this guy, unless if I were, let's just try something. If I were to raise up the temperature just ever so slightly, you would get kind of, I guess you would kind of get, in a way, like since you see here let me try to get this out. Since you kind of see here in the background, kind of sunset or the sun really. If I were to raise the temperature, which is before, roughly after, I guess it would give it that, kind of glowing in the sun, if that makes sense. Oh, I actually more looking at it. I didn't think I would actually kind of like it. So you know what? We're just gonna not too much, just barely something. There we go. Just barely something. Tint, I'm not gonna do. Hue, I would no. No. Okay. So, the cat, I think, especially since we made that little change with the temperature, even if it is just slightly, the cat, I think overall I liked it. The sky, I think we got over this portion of the sky that I was leaning towards underexposed, overexposed. I think we got that out of the way. As far as background goes, other than this portion here but I guess that would include portion of the bokeh as well that came from the photo. Let's see what I can do with this background. No, I don't want to raise up the temperature because then it's just going to look weird. Really, as I'm going through these sliders, I think there's really nothing much to do as far as background goes, because I think that's think that's pretty much overall I can do with it without changing the photo as much, because it's just slight adjustments I'm doing to this photo. It's not really nothing major. Well, except for the fact of the changes we had to make to the cat, but other than that, maybe that might just be it. Now, before I call it good and I call it quits, I do just want to, as a photo as a whole, right? I'm not entirely sure. What this would be the shadows, so oh, but you see, that would be making everything too dark in my opinion. Let's just have it the way how we had it. There we go. Okay. Maybe as far as everything goes, maybe that should be it. What I was thinking about, but I wasn't entirely sure, was maybe, just maybe, increase in the saturation on the cat's eyes. Just maybe, because the one thing I did like about this cat that this picture here doesn't really show was that in person the cat's eyes were much bluer than this. Much bluer. I think, if I'm correct, I think on my Instagram I have another photo of this cat, but recently, really, to be honest, before even starting this whole journey, all the photos I have on my Instagram, they're just the raw photos. I didn't even touch with editing or using Lightroom at all, because at that time I just simply didn't know. So there's a portion of me that kind of wants to test it out. You know what? Fuck it. Let's see what this happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Let's see about this. Okay, so just let's see. I just mostly want to worry about the saturation in this. Oh shit. Okay. Oh gosh, okay. Well, thank gosh, okay. Think we're good now. Well, as far as this my attempt was, I guess that didn't really work out, but okay, so as far as, let's just delete that. Let's just pretend I never try to make that. But so back, I think I did a pretty good job here. Quite surprised. So, kind of like what I said before. Let me get the okay. Roughly before, after. Is it much change? Maybe. As far as the cat goes, oh yeah, a lot has changed. But everything else, maybe it might not have been such a huge change, but I'm at least glad that, again, the mask in this worked this time around, because if I had chosen this photo to edit on for this video, and then I realized mid editing that the masking option was kind of like last video, that didn't want it to work properly, that would have been pretty shitty, to be honest. But I'd say overall, I think it's pretty much it. I mean, I can't really as I sit here, kind of analyze the photo now, I can't really do much to begin with. I mean, I just want to. I don't know. I think that we should be good now. I look at it, everything looks all right. To be honest, I'm actually quite kind of happy with this one. A hell of a lot more than last video's photo, which don't get me wrong, like I said, I still like it, but just a lack of experience I had with Lightroom just about a week ago. I mean, granted, it's not like I'm saying that I'm a pro. No. I know I still need a lot of more work to do. Maybe with the whole color portion of it, but I think overall, I think that's really it. I mean, I'm looking at this. Like I said, I can't really think of anything else to kind of add on to here. The whole goal for me was to, like I said, was to kind of get the whole cat as a whole exposed. So now that I did that, and I kind of made some corrections here and there with the colors and saturation, etc., I think I'm gonna leave it like this. I think I did all what I could, at least for this video. I think I'm gonna leave it like this for this one. Anyways, that's all for this video. Let's see if I pray that the editing process for this one won't be as much of a hassle as last video, but anyways, we'll see you guys next video.